3 is the magic number. It's the most powerful number in terms of human dynamics because the strength of 2 versus 1, at least, is always going to play out in the dynamic of 3 humans in a group together. I witnessed this the other day. I met 2 ladies in the park and they are drinkers, whatever that means. And I had a bit of a drink with them. I was drinking Baileys, if you know what that is. A little bit. And we went back. We got a taxi, even though it was a really short walk, relatively, but they wanted to pay for a taxi because they were a bit worse for wear. We went back to one of the ladies' flats, and I was there less than 1 hour before I left. So I could sense very clearly that both of the ladies wanted my attention. I don't mean that they fancied me, but just the novelty of a new person, but more to the point, a good-hearted person. They could feel, sense who I am, and they listened. But we got back to the flat and it became challenging because to be sat in the middle of 2 people, you've got to give your attention to the one who's speaking and turn your back on the other one, and that's fault because, well, sometimes being around humans activates the child part of ourselves in order for it to be expressed and to feel safe and heard and seen. Well, as I sat in this flat, we put some music on the television. I realised that I didn't really want to be there, and I'd just been emotionally suckered into believing I wanted to be there. Through the power of 3 people, 2 people wanted me to be there. Really. I like being around humans. But one of them tried to leave, like a dramatic exit, like, oh, well, if you're not gonna bother with me, then But then I was talking about the importance of us sticking together in life, humans, and like, oh, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but sit down, we're all here. And then that lady decided to stay, but she went out into the hall or something, and I was speaking to the lady whose flat it was, and I was speaking about the power of 3. How between us, me and her, could help the other lady to feel settled and not ignored. But then, what happened was, then it became 2 against 1 in favour of alcohol. And then they ganged up on me and they tried to hint that I should leave or change or be quiet or something, because they were trying to say that I was being loud, but I was just talking passionately and I have a deep voice. So then it became about trying to compete, and no, it wasn't that. So the power of 1, just left. I'm not getting into strife. I'm not getting into disagreements. So I got my stuff together. And I said, hey guys, yeah, this is self-respect in action. I am going to leave. Goodbye. And I very dramatically threw a piece of art out of my bag and just displayed the word peace. And I watched it land on the floor, and I vacated the premises. 1, I is powerful. But 2 or 3, where 2 or more are gathered in my name, in the name of love, there I am, God, divinity, in the midst also. And conversely, where 2 or more are gathered in the name of defilement, there I am, the devil, in the midst also. Anti-prayer, bad mind, disconnection from the heart. It's why we must discover our value alone. Otherwise you might suspect that you are parts of other people, because you are what you do, not what you say in life. So if you don't respect yourself, then you will do things that are not befitting of who you truly are, and that will be led by other people. If you've got a group of people who haven't got a clue what they're doing, well, that's just really destructive, isn't it? A partnership forged in divinity is as strong as 3 people, because there are 3 elements to it. I, her, and God. A triangle is the strongest shape apart from a circle.